The North and the South by Jada Hines and Stephanie Albin. Textile industry. Sam Slater was a mechanic who brought the textile industry to the U.S., which led to the building of textile mills. He had trouble finding people to work in the mills, so he hired the whole family to work. Interchangeable parts. Eli Whitney is an inventor who created interchangeable parts. Machines produced these parts instead of hands, which led to mass production. Manufacturing. Albert Gallatin was a Secretary of Treasury, and he believed that few factories were built because many wanted to farm. Due to the War of 1812, manufacturing grew because it prevented imports of foreign goods, which led Americans to buy American goods. Lowell System. Francis Cabot Lowell created a system that was based on water-powered mills that employed young, unmarried women. The Lowell system was different than the Rhode Island system because they employed women while the other employed families. Labor movement. Sarah G. Bagley contributed to the labor movement. The labor unions improved working conditions by the state passing 10-hour workday laws. Steamboats. Robert Fulton was a steamboat designer who produced the first full-size steamboat. The steamboats could travel upriver and didn't rely on wind power. Steam trains. Peter Cooper was the inventor of a small locomotive called Tom Thumb. Trains and railroads affected the economy by reducing shipping times and costs. The U.S. faced challenges such as the railroads having to be made running up and down steep mountains, around tight curves, and over swift rivers. Steam power. Samuel Morse was a creator who created the telegraph. During the Industrial Revolution, people began to use steam power in factories. Due to this change from water-powered mills, factories can be located anywhere because of the steam power. Cotton gin. Catherine Green was the inventor of the cotton gin, which was later improved by Whitney. The cotton gin led to increased cotton farming, which demanded for an increase of the number of slaves. Industrial growth. Hinton Rowan Helper encouraged industrial growth in the South. There were fewer industries in the South because many preferred to invest in land and stick with agriculture. Southern society. In the South, there were two groups, the yeomen and the planters. The yeomen owned and operated small farms, while the planters were powerful and wealthy. The white Southerners used religion to justify their position in society and the institution of slavery. Slavery. Solomon Northup was a free African American who was kidnapped and sold into slavery for 12 years. Slaves that worked in the planter's home got better food, clothing, and shelter, but had to work longer hours. Slaveholders controlled their slaves by giving them harsh punishments and strict slave codes. Slave rebellions. Enslaved parents ensured that their children never forgot their heritage by passing down families' histories, customs, and traditions. Nat Turner was a slave who believed that God told him to end slavery. On an August night in 1831, Nat Turner's rebellion became the most violent U.S. slave revolt. This rebellion killed 60 white people and 100 slaves. Turner was also executed, and states adopted stricter slave codes.
Created using Powtoon.